Bro, thanks for coming back to my channel and thanks for your support last month. This is your September 2018 reading. September is the month of transition where we move from one season to the other. You change the season when your birthday season starts on 22nd of September. But before we enter your solar year, your start of solar year, there is some clearing up to be done, and we'll be doing them in the most practical way. We'll also be coming across some interesting, very interesting and lucrative opportunities on work and love sector. Let's see what are the aspects and how to make use of them. Let's look at the August aspects that will continue into September. You had a full moon on 26th of August in your work and health sector. That brought to closure some work project or a health project, health goal to culmination, and that was backed by a positive energy in your personal house. So you hopefully your family life and your personal life is well-being is supported during this time, and that is helping you complete some of the career goals, some of the work projects, some of the health goals. And while the full moon throws its light on the sector, some of the gaps in this would have come up as well. What can you do more at work? What can you do more in health sector? Also, the 11th of August eclipse was in your house of your aspirations, social aspirations. So any gaps on your goals might have come up during this time as well. Take the messaging of what your next goals are supposed to be, because you are going towards a very different trajectory starting 2019, because you're trying to be working towards getting to the top of whichever profession you are in over the next 2 years. So all the things and transits that you're getting right now are raw material to create a solid base for it. Apart from this, we have all planets moving forward, all visible planets moving forward in September, starting with Mars on 27th of August. 27th of August, Mars went direct in the best sign that it can go direct in. It went direct in Capricorn at the degree where it's most efficient. It was in your area of home, family, place of living. So if there were any projects with respect to your home, repairs, etc., moving, property closure, all of those things start moving now in the positive direction. These could be the matters that were stuck since as long as May this year, when Mars started going into retrograde motion. Now that it's moving forward, the energy at home with your family, with your loved ones, become much easier than before. So if there are any issues that you were trying to resolve with your mother, with your parents or your family, or just trying to stand your ground in your family framework, that will go very positively now. In addition to that, Mercury is coming out of shadow on 2nd of September. Mercury was retrograde for the last 2 months in terms of you reviewing your social networks and how do you go about networking with people, who do you engage with, what kind of goals you need to have for yourself, how to go about your gains and recognition at work. All of those were under review and consideration. Now when Mercury starts getting out of shadow, you start getting new ideas on who to go after, who are the right people who you should tie up with, what are your aspirational goals, what can get you more recognition at work. The thinking pattern starts moving forward instead of going back and forth on the same patterns. This is also a time when Venus is in your sign. You are at your charming self. You are enchanting people, you are hobnobbing with people, and they are feeling great when you do that. You're able to make tracks into network. Right now, meeting out to people, especially during first week of September, can work out very lucrative for you in long run. So go out and be with the right set of people. You'll be able to find out the right set of people, and with Venus in your sign, it gives you the confidence, it gives you the magnetism to make partnerships happen, both in love as well as at work. So it's a great conversational energy, a constructive conversational energy, when the planet of conversation and of charm are coming together in your social network. Venus will also go retrograde next month. So on 2nd or 3rd of September, it's undergoing shadow period. Undergoing shadow period means that the matter of related to Venus related matters that will come into highlight this month will get reviewed over the coming months. What are Venus related matter? Venus is obviously love, charm, looking good, feeling good. So it's about physical well-being. It's about looking physically well. It's about love, but it's more than that. It's about creativity, any creative projects, any passion projects that you have going, your money, your finances. So if there are any discussion during the course of this month on creativity, on creative projects, on finances, on the money that you make out of your work that you do, on you looking good, feeling good, on how you can improve your physical appearance, those will undergo a bit of review in the coming months, and that is a way that happens fairly often. But Venus is a 8-year cycle, so Venus going retrograde in your sign and in your money sector only happened last in 2010. So if you like to review what happened between October of 2010 to November of 2010, you would know what were the lessons that you could draw out of that to use now. We don't have exact planetary aspects which we had 8 years back, so everything is not going to be the same, but largely the things that it touched upon, the lessons that came across, you would want to use them right now. So it's good to think back on that. Apart from that, if this was not enough, on 5th of September, Mercury changes sign. Mercury is the planet of communication, our thinking, and that goes into the best sign possible. It goes into the sign of Virgo, where it is the most efficient, it's productive, the discussions are sharp, your thinking is sharp, your analytical skills are at its peak. There could be wads and wads of information thrown your way, and you'll be able to figure out business patterns out of them. So, from 5th of September to 21st of September, Mercury finally, after being 2 months in over the top, let's go out, network with people, hobnob with people energy, it comes down to a very grounded energy. And you need this grounding right now. You are tired. I'm pretty sure you are, because Saturn has been squaring you, making you work very, very hard on your home and family sector. Mars had been making you hard on that, plus your love sector and your children's sector, and you had 3 eclipses happen in a matter of 2 months. You need some grounding energy before you set sail into new direction with your solar year. So this is exactly what it's doing. It's just taking you a little bit behind the scene. Take a step back, think, analyze details of what worked out, what did not work out, and hence what you need to lose. Because Mercury in Virgo is also very practical. It will help you, along with Sun in the same sign, it will help you lose the things that you don't need. It's a very sharp cut. What's not required, it's a detox energy, it's an eliminatory energy, and it's in a house of unconscious. So when a very sharp thinking planet goes into unconscious, it will unearth stuff, and it's not hokey stuff that it will unearth. It's not about going to a mountain and then thinking about life stuff. It's real patterns, drive, urges, compulsions, all the habits that are not serving you anymore, holding you back from being your best, that will come out, because all these unconscious patterns only define our conscious behaviors. They define how we act in real life and how do we make the choices, what are the attitudes. This is also a great time to detox, get rid of any physical addictions or mental addictions. You could have a tendency of going in a loop in your thought process. Instead of relaxing when you need to relax, like when you need to sleep, instead of sleeping, you could go into the pattern of overthinking things. So this is a time to give the wheels that keep churning even in their sleep a halt, and you need to give them a halt in some practical way. You are not the kind of sign who will go on top of the mountain and think about life for the next couple of weeks. So we got to find some outlet for it all, and the outlet for you could be in form of writing it all up, talking to people, or just actual cleanup, physical cleanup of your house. This is a very Virgo is a very service oriented sign as well. So doing things for people, donating your stuff, it's a house of helping more than just yourself. It's about helping more than you. It's also a very tough sign, so tough jobs get handled during this time. And for you, the toughest job is to do this work right now, because it requires you to sit still, clean up, donate what's not working, or give up any addictions that are not serving you, so you can propel forward. This is a great creativity energy, so give yourself the time and place during this time. Your mind is at its sharpest and it wants to stay behind the scene. Do your best work behind the scene in terms of creativity during this time. It's also a house of latent potential, so you might discover some latent potentials that you did not know you had. It's also an energy of, even as I said, even thinking in your dreams. So some thoughts might come through to you, some practical thoughts of what you could do can come to you during your even your sleep and dreams. It's an imaginative energy, and it's practical, it's grounded in practicality. On top of this, now the next planet and the last visible planet that needed to go direct is Saturn, and it goes direct on 6th of September. The job of Saturn is to create structures, to create boundaries, so you can build something solid on it. And for you, it was in the house of family, uh, place of living, mother, your emotional fulfillment, same as what we discussed Mars was in. Now Saturn is more about analyzing what structures are supposed to be put in place to create something, to build something on top of it. So Mars creates, Saturn puts down the structure. Now when Saturn was retrograde since April, it was reviewing where have you made some family commitments which you need to give up, or which are the family commitments you do need to make. So it's about a reconsideration energy on family matters. Some family issues, your dynamics within your family might have come for questioning as well. You might have also been considering what kind of repairs need to be made at home to make its structure more solid, because Saturn makes everything solid. Saturn is in a very solid sign right now. On 6th of September, apart from Sun, I don't know a single planet who's not in the sign it should be. So Saturn is in Capricorn, Mercury is in Virgo, Venus is in Libra, and we have got Mars in Capricorn. So we have such a productive energy. The any repairs at home, making enhancement at home, dealing with family issues effectively, and it's making positive. Saturn is making positive aspects right now with Uranus. Uranus is a planet of freedom, and it's sitting in your house of transformation. So it encourages any transformation you want to bring about to your family, to your physical appearance, because that is another area which is touched by Saturn in a hard aspect. It's edging you to exercise, to change your diet, to see what you're eating, to look at how you're dealing with your parents. What are the family values or the family patterns you thought you need to still bring to your new family, to your married life, that maybe you don't need to, or maybe there are some family values that you do have respect for and you have seen them functioning, and now you want to bring them to your current family as well. Some parenting styles that you found to be right, and now you want to apply them to your family. All of that pans out on 7th of September in tangible ways when Mercury touches both Uranus and Saturn in a positive aspect. So all of this Uranus and Saturn working in positive energy with each other since 14th of August till 14th of September, of saying let's build some innovation into how we handle the structure of our family, how do we handle the structure of our home, embellishing the home, transforming how our home looks like. You put some actual voice to it with Mercury joining it. You put an actual expression to it on 7th of September. This is a grand earth trine. It's the last grand earth trine in the earth sector. So when a grand earth trine happens in a earth sector, it has to it has to tangibly create something. So it will create a tangible thing, which will be in form of a communication, it will be in form of an art that you might create, it's or a drawing that you do, or something that you come across with, or maybe an analysis that you might take. Now, one way that this, because these are psychological houses, so apart from this converting into something that you create for your family or for your home, which is innovative, lasts long, and has the keen eye of Mercury and a keen analytical eye of Mercury for any faults that might be there, to fix them. Apart from that, it can also play out in a psychological way. Saturn sitting over there is analyzing where are you not emotionally fulfilled in your current family setup, where do you need more. Uranus sitting in your transformative and intimacy houses is asking you, are you satisfied with your intimacy, are you satisfied with your joint finances, are you satisfied with your positioning in the partnership from your value perspective. Any of those things that need changes, Mercury will give it a voice. Mercury will give you a ability to speak it out on 7th of September, what is holding any issues back in your family or intimacy sector. And that comes out in a soulful way, because Mercury is in the right sign right now. So it is not a jarring energy. This is a constructive discussion. The outcome is a constructive discussion between 7th to 9th of September. And while this is happening, we have the new moon in exactly the same place, which is the house of consciousness. So sun also comes to that point now, where sun and moon will come together and they want to create something new in your house of behind the scene or unconscious, or just taking care of your emotional and psychological health. This is a very normally a very soulful new moon, but it's in a very practical sign. So it's about doing some practical things, as we discussed before, letting go what's not serving you, confronting what you need to let go from your old patterns. So it's about bringing peace of mind to you. It's not about sitting on a mountain and doing soul searching. It's about getting down to cleaning up things, cleaning up your cupboard. You don't need to see some of the foods that are not serving you physically, cleaning that out. There are certain numbers in your phone which you don't want to call again, cleaning that out. There are some clothes that you don't want to wear anymore in your solar year, cleaning that out. Detoxing your body, your mind at this stage in a very active way, and giving it an outlet, because sun is physical. You need to give it a physical outlet in some ways. And when you have given it the physical outlet, you'll be surprised at how much clutter in our mind and outside might have been holding you back. This clutter could manifest in form of just pure negative compulsive thinking, just thoughts going round and round in your head which need to go out of it, negative thinking that you need to get rid of, or just some things that are not letting you relax. They're not letting you sleep well. They're not letting you go into a peaceful state of mind. All of those things you find out now and you make use of it, and they are being helped and supported by Jupiter and Pluto, which are positively aspecting this new moon. Jupiter and Pluto have been in positive aspect with each other throughout this year. Jupiter is sitting in your house of finances, so it wants to increase your material stability. But before it does that, because it's in Scorpio, it will dig out all the issues that you have of self-worth and net worth. So since March till about July, you had been having a review mentally. How much should I be paid? Why am I not paid this much? Why is that person paid this much? How much should I be getting? Or the thought process of, am I worthy of getting to the next step in my career? Am I worthy to be doing well in my life? All of those self-worth, net worth issues, even diet issues. What am I eating? Am I eating the right things or not? What should I be eating? Those considerations might have come for healing since between March and July. Now with the forward movement of Jupiter, you can start implementing things to enhance your self-worth, your net worth, because by November, Jupiter needs to bless you in this area. Jupiter will not come back to your net worth and self-worth area for the next 12 years. So it's creating material stability for a next 12-year cycle for you. So be on lookout for the ideas coming during this time, because this is exactly that time when your sun and also later Mercury will will touch Jupiter in a positive way, you'll get ideas because you're in a relaxed mind. You're having a peaceful thought process. You're giving yourselves the space and time to process things. Then the ideas start coming and the opportunities start coming. Jupiter's job is to give you opportunity. Till November, it is supposed to give you opportunity on money making. Be on lookout for those opportunities. Pluto is sheer power. Pluto is giving you internal power to go after them. So look for those opportunity, try to analyze them, and then go after them. Because Pluto is in Capricorn, it is also about transforming your property and making money out of it. So some messaging on property, maybe an opportunity on property might come through when Jupiter and Pluto are also touching Mercury later in the month around 15th and 16th of September. So be on lookout for some messages on 11th when Jupiter and Pluto are exactly touching Sun, and then on 15th or 16th when they are touching Mercury. You could also, because this is also the 12th house is also the house of long journey. So in order to get some peace or just get some relaxation before your birthday month starts, before your solar year starts, you might have taken some long distance journey. During this time as well, you just have to be in a state of mind to receive those messages at this point in time. It's about opening your mind to receive the interactions that are coming to you, the imagination, the concepts that are coming to you while your mind is sharp and the planets are positively interacting with that mind. This also encourages bed pleasure. So in 12th house is also a house, it's a house of giving yourself pleasure in whichever form. So bed pleasure is also encouraged during this time, or it's positive during this time. One thing to be careful during this new moon is that Neptune will be opposing that. Neptune is a planet of illusion. So when Neptune is in your house of co-workers, people, work habits, health habits, you don't see some of those things clearly. But that veil was dropped in June when Neptune went retrograde. So you have an opportunity between June to November to figure out who at work is not for you, who's your enemy at work, who's not serving you. You are very forgiving in this house. You're very forgiving towards people's fault in defrauding you to some extent at work. So you don't realize or see that clearly in your normal day to day. Neptune with the veil dropping and Mercury at its sharpest, your discerning power, that's exactly what Virgo does. It finds the faults and what is wrong in somebody. So you have that discernment right now to pick out these people who are users, who are takers, and you are able to suss them out during this time, and that might drain you. The opposition is that it's draining your focus on relaxation and rest and figuring out what you need to get rid of. But at the same time, it is very much required. It needs to come to your awareness. So on 7th of September, it touches your Sun, Neptune, and on 13th of September, it will touch your Mercury. Be aware on 7th and 13th of any users and takers coming across to you at work. This is also in health sector. So if there is a diet that you were following which is actually not serving you, reality of that might come out, that there is a food that you're eating or a health habit that you are consistently having which is actually harming you. So you take an action on that when that comes to light between 7th of September and also on 13th of September. Now, while you're trying to get into a state of relaxation, there is a thunderbolt hitting you between 9th and 18th of September, which is because of a formation called T-square between Venus, Uranus, and Mars. These three planets come together in loggerheads with each other as soon as Venus and Mars are changing signs. Venus is moving into Scorpio, which is your house of money, self-worth, net worth, the food that you eat, your resources. It's going to throw a positive light in that area. It will bring out what you want in that area as well over the coming month, and it's also going to stay for an extended period of time over here because of the retrograde that is coming. So your diet, your self-worth, your net worth will come into review under Venus. Also, Mars on 10th of September will be moving into your fifth house in the sign of Aquarius, your house of self-expression, joy, romance, children, creativity, all the things that make you happy, that make you joyful. Now, Mars had been in this sign for last 2 months as well when it was going backward. So the stay of Mars in this house has been extended to about 5 months versus a 7 week stay. Why is Mars staying so heavily in this area? Is because it wants you to create some new areas of joy for you. Maybe bring back some of the creativity that work pressure and you being busy between family and work has you forgotten, which was bringing you so much joy. It's also giving you the power to take more risk. If you have your own business, it wants you to take more business risk at this point in time. And because Jupiter and Venus are both blessing your money sector, it sort of wants to go for it. But it's not an easy energy because Mars and Venus are at loggerheads with each other during this T square configuration. They are squaring each other. But to me, this is healthy friction. A little bit of courage is required at this point in time for you to go after the money that you deserve. Maybe Mars is just providing you exactly that nudge that is required. Also, Venus is in return helping bring some beauty to your creativity or whatever new you're creating in that field with you, and also adding some amount of healthy friction and love to bring out some excitement in the romance that's going on. Because some of these matter of romance, how you handle your children, how do you go after your creativity, was held up for the last 2 months. They were not going in the direction they should. Now, finally, those are resolving. Venus is adding some friction, some beauty to it. Uranus is adding a surprise element to it, which means that either some ideas on your creativity could suddenly come up, some money, funding, financing for it might suddenly come up from external sources, or a person can suddenly show up who you suddenly fall in love with or who you instantly feel sexually attracted to. I'll just your life doesn't stop because of retrogrades, but just be mindful. Whatever is happening in love and money area right now, it will undergo review over the next couple of months when Venus goes retrograde. Anything that is built on shifty grounds, you know that those will come in for a review. Have the excitement that you need during this time. If you feel that transforming in love requires you to fall instantly in love with something, that's just take energy, take the energy in that sense then. But at the same time, be a bit mindful of the friction that it is creating, especially the Mars Uranus square. We experienced that in July as well. It is a little bit of explosive energy on finances and with the loved ones. So, the friction that is being created, this is exact on 18th of September. Just be careful of any sudden outburst with the loved ones or just friction with the loved ones that might be created. So be careful on that. But you have learned the lessons Mars retrograde was teaching you on how to go after your creativity, your joy, your love, and now you're incorporating that. This T square is unlocked and moved in a positive direction by applying the lessons of the last couple of months that Mars has taught you. If used right, this is brilliance, zest, and money coming together all in an exciting package for you. Or it is electricity, energy, and love coming, and thunderbolt coming and hitting you. This is such an exciting time between 9th of 18th of September, at a time when you're actually supposed to be behind the scene. There is so much excitement being thrown your way in the middle of it all. Then we have the aspects that we just discussed about. I'm just giving you the dates again. On 13th of September, Mercury and Neptune will oppose each other. This is the trickster energy that we talked about, that there might be some enemies at work revealing themselves and that draining on your mind. Then Mercury and Pluto are going in positive energy with each other on 15th of September. That is an excellent day for detailed research work because Mercury will be at its best. Your mind, your ability to communicate, your ability to analyze will be at its best on 15th of September this month because it enters the highest exaltation within Virgo on that size. So Mercury will be at its best. If any paperwork, any detailed paperwork that you need to sign, legal document that you need to sign, any property documents that might, because Pluto is an area of reforming your property. So any property modification documents coming through your way, 15th is the best time to tackle it. 16th is Mercury meets Jupiter as well. So Mercury is being blessed with the Pluto Jupiter combination that Sun was earlier blessed from. So your physical self, physical manifestation of that happened earlier. Now is a ideation time, and the ideation is much stronger. You're getting brilliant ideas for money making during this time, maybe from a hidden source. It could be in the area of property because that's where Pluto is. But at this point in time, you are getting some brilliant ideas on how to make money. Then comes your season. From 21st of September, Mercury moves into Libra, your sign, and 22nd of September, Sun moves into Libra. We have fall in Northern Hemisphere and spring in Southern Hemisphere, and the September equinox is here. You change the weather and we move towards a charming, diplomatic, make things work together in partnerships with other, and let's draft up those partnerships docs now, energy of Libra from 22nd of September. This is a beautiful time of the year, and it's a beautiful time for you to start your solar year. As soon as we start the solar year for you, though, or you have a full moon on 24th of September on your opposite sign of Aries at 2 degrees, where a closure, a light is thrown up on a relationship closure. So 7th house is all about partnerships, business partnerships, clients. You are trying to seal a deal here on 24th of September, and Sun and Moon are opposing each other. So you're trying to balance a deal, a partnership deal, while keeping your interest in mind. Now this may not this may not be financial, it could be romance, committed relationship as well, but either ways the financial element of it can be very positive for you if this is handled positively, if it's handled well. By handling well, I mean that Saturn is standing in hard energy with each other, so it's asking you, have you done the work? Have you done the detailed work required? Are you keeping the interest of your family in mind? Are you making sure that it will serve your emotional needs entering this partnership? So it is going to ask you whether you have done the work that Saturn has been asking you to do, the work on yourself, on your emotions, on your family life before you go into this partnership. So it is a sobering effect because Aries full moon is very much about going boldly, impulsively, head first kind of energy. I'll figure out the repercussions later energy. Very opposite to you. It's not looking at both sides of the things and then making a decision. It's just making the decision. So Saturn has to sober that down, not in a very polite way, to tell it that have you looked at all the aspects of it, especially the aspect of you taking care of your family in the process of it all. But Mars is positively aspecting this. Mars is in area of, it wants to bring you joy. So this partnership somehow is being excited by your idea of attaining more joy, getting more romance. You want to be liberated. You want to get more fun in your life. So there is a bit of an excitement attached as well as restraint attached to the same full moon. I'm really excited to see how that plays out in our life here. But this is a extremely confident magnetism. I don't know which end I would go to at the end of it, kind of an energy, but it hopefully transforms into the right kind of partnership at the end of it. The thing to take care of though is that Chiron will be sitting with the moon at that time. So that adds a little bit of emotional energy to this full moon, because Chiron wants to heal your marriage, Chiron wants to heal your partnership. But during this full moon, it will bring to light any feelings of being unappreciated by your business or personal partners that might come to light. So be careful of emotions coloring your decision during this time. Also, following the full moon on 25th of September, Chiron will enter Pisces, which is your day-to-day work and health patterns. So next couple of months will be about healing anywhere at work where you're not treated well, or healing any old health issues which might flare up during this time. So just be careful about that over the next coming couple of months. Maybe some diet pattern is not serving you. So why it is not serving you, that comes out when Chiron goes retrograde in Pisces and stays there till the end of the year, starting from 25th of September. Lastly, on 30th of September, Pluto goes direct. We have planets in forward motion, and we complete the cycle here. I'll talk to you more about it in your birthday season or in your birthday reading next month. Thank you for staying with me, and have a great month.